Oh my God, it's being recorded. Oh, sorry.
There's an option leave meeting. Should I click that?
Yeah, it's kind of funny that they did that. That was probably some kind of legal requirement, because if you record something you don't warn people, then they don't have the option to like shut their mouths or else leave the meeting or something. My thought is kind of like, look, if you're dumb enough to say something on a public meeting that can be recorded, maybe you need to reconsider the choices you make about when and how you say things. I think that's more important than being recorded. You need to kind of wake up and smell the coffee, Bubba. All right. Oh, see how they are? See, right before I'm about ready to start teaching, then they show up. See how they are? All right. So
4 minutes late.
let's look at number 13. Okay, so I'm going to rewrite it down here. Now, this is already in a pretty good format. The only problem with it is that the numbers are too big for the y. So for those of you that have issues with these not being in the proper order, guess what you can do? You can change the order. It's perfectly legal to do that. Did you know that, guys? Totally do that. As long as you're not changing the signs. So this has a positive, this has a negative. So when you flip-flop them, they keep their sign with them. They move like a unit. So I can move these all around the place as long as I move their sign with them. It's totally legal. Because really, I'm saying I'm taking -8 and I'm adding it to a positive x. Right? Because we learned that when we talked about what combining integers is really about, right? It's not about adding, it's about combining, which I know sounds like it's exactly the same, but it's not. So now the problem I have with this one is the fact that I don't want a 4y, I just want y. So this looks a lot like what I do when I have my two-step equations. I'm going to divide it by 4, but I have to divide everything by 4. Okay? If I don't divide everything by 4, my equation changes, and now I have an invalid equation. Okay? So this cross cancels. This becomes a -2, and so it's going to look like this. X equals 1/4, y equals 1/4 x minus 2. Now, if you're wondering, what the heck is that? Where did that 1/4 come from? I want you to remember that, let's go down here and do it. If I have x over 4, oh, it's not even, I wrote it so far down you can't even see it. Wow. Think of it as being the same thing as if I did this. Does that make sense? Because this is going to give me the same answer, isn't it? Because if I multiply through here, I'm going to get 1 times x over 4 times 1, which is going to give me x over 4, right? So whenever you see something that looks, back up here, John. Anytime you see something like that, really think of it as being 1/4 x. And so without having to do any really crazy, silly stuff, I can see now that my slope is 1/4. Okay, does that make sense? Yes, no, maybe so. Throw up a thumb. Give me the wave. Something, give me some kind of a sign that there is life existent on your planet, whatever planet that is you're currently on. So now if I look at this, I've got y equals 1/4 x minus 2. So first I'm going to graph 0, -2. And I'm going to go up 1 and over 4, right? Isn't that what 1/4 means? Change in y over change in x. So my point's going to go up 1 and over 4. And now, I've been looking for a ruler. I can't find a ruler anywhere in my desk area. Now at school, I have several of them, but I don't have one here, which is really sad, because then I could be making perfectly straight lines. I wouldn't have to listen to you guys snickering when you see my crappy lines that I draw, and then like making fun of my arrows and everything, because you guys are so mean. Can't believe you're so mean to me. Okay. Did that one make sense, Alyssa? Did that help? Okay. What up, Jacoby?
I can mail you a ruler.
No, thanks. I'll just keep my own germs at my house. I don't really want your germs, stinky boy.
No, mine's not even opened.
Whatever.
I haven't used
But
it all
Rattler
year.
has your nasty germs on it. Yuck.
No, I haven't.
Gross buckets.
No, I haven't touched it.
Ew,
I
seventh
haven't
grade
touched
boy
it.
cooties. Eh. They've always been fatal. Every girl that's ever kissed a
Says
seventh
Mr.
grade boy
Easley.
knows that boy cooties are fatal. They'll kill you eventually. Think about that, ladies. You're lucky because you're largely separated from the entire male population of seventh grade, which means you have an entire year of being free of boy cooties. This is a really important thing you may not realize as being a very positive aspect of not being at school right now. I'm just saying. Yanira appreciates that, don't you, Yanira? She's like, I'm not
Wow,
responding
Mr.
to you.
Easley.
Wow, what?
Wow, that's just cold. That's just cold.
Boys do have cooties. Okay, let's look at this. 0 equals y minus 1/2 x. Now, so I want a positive y on one side, and then whatever else is on the other side, I don't care about, right? So here's my one term here, right? So remember, if I move this term to the other side of the equal sign, what happens to it? If I just move it over, what happens to it? Jacoby?
Turns to a positive.
Yeah, it goes from a negative to a positive. Because when I move that term to the other side, it changes its sign. So if it's positive, it becomes negative. If it was negative, it becomes positive. Right? So look at that. Okay. Now, what's the y-intercept for this equation? Correct, Liliana. It's 0. And since it's 0, that means it's going to be the origin, right? Now, my slope is 1/2. 1/2. Change in y, change in x. I'm not going to always write that, but I kind of feel like every now and then it's a good idea to write that down so that you remember that point. I'm not going to do that every time, but so that means I'm going to come up here. I'm going to go up 1 and I'm going to go over 2. Oh, wow, that one looked pretty good actually. Wow. Just think if I had a ruler. If only somebody would mail me a ruler. Maybe Alyssa will. I trust her. I don't think she has nasty.
Oh my gosh.
She would probably send you like a knife with like inches of measurements on it.
Jacoby, don't act like other teachers don't give you crap like this, because I know they do, because they tell me they do. So don't act like this like only happens in my room. Right? Doesn't this happen to him in like every class?
Yep.
Ain't that
The
the
other
truth?
teachers pick on him too, don't they? Because we've talked about, the teachers have actually talked about this.
Yeah.
All right, let's look at this one. I keep forgetting to put these lines in. I need to remember to do that as a help to you guys. So I have a problem here, right? I've got a negative y, and it's on the same y as the number, on the same side as the number. So first of all, I'm going to get that number out of there, right? 5x minus 8 equals negative 4y. What should I do now? What do you think I should do now, people? Oh, Cootie Boy has an idea. Yeah, Jacoby? So I'm gonna start calling you. I'm gonna call you Cootie.
Divide by -4.
I'm gonna divide by -4. Excellent. Now, when I do that, these two -4s go away. I get a y. -8 divided by -4 is going to be 2, positive 2. And then this is going to be a -5/4 x. Do you see why that's 5/4 x there? Remember, I just kind of pulled that fraction out from the x so that it's really clear that that's my slope. Okay. I mean, I don't have to do that. I mean, I really should be able to look here and realize that that's that. But I think it's smarter to do it this way so that it looks like we're used to seeing it. I just think that's a smart idea. So our y-intercept is going to be a positive 2. And our slope is negative 5, 4. So I'm going to go down 5 and over 4. How are we doing now? Alyssa, does this make sense now? Are you like cool with it? Good. How about the rest of you guys? How are you doing on this? Give me a thumbs up if you're like, yeah, I'm doing well. So doing well would be like at least a 3. At least a 3. Okay. All right. Brandon, I appreciate that. Thank you. All right, let's do some more. Let's do some more. I don't care if we have to do more of these. And you know, my opinion is that it doesn't matter if this takes a while to do it. Yes, Aaliyah. That's question number 3 now, so be careful.
How many questions do I get?
I'm not telling you, so that means you should only ask them when you absolutely have to ask them. What's up?
Well, it's not a question, it's a comment. So, I don't know why, but
Yes. Don't you know this is the Mr. Easley show? I'm
Yes,
the one
but-
that gets to make comment. Go ahead, just say it. Go ahead.
yes, for 5 seconds, it's my show. Okay, so I don't know why, but with the the college way that you told us that it was like a shortcut or whatever.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, you make it sound so easy, but I don't understand. I don't understand it like that. Like
Did she
the way
just
you're doing it
clap
right now.
back at me? Did you see that? She just clapped back at me. Did
Oh.
you notice that? What the heck? You got a lot of nerve, lady. Well, I'm gonna tell mom. Boy, she clapped back at me. Not a good choice. Mama's gonna be mad at you. I'm telling you. All right. Well, let's look at this one and look at what that looks like again. So remember, the college concept has to do with the idea of setting x and y to 0, right? So if I set x to 0, this term goes bye-bye, doesn't it? Negative 9 times 0 is going to be 0. Aaliyah? Bueller? Hello? Hello, is this thing
Yes, I'm
on?
here.
Is this thing on? Hello? Hello? Hello?
Hello.
If I put a 0 here for x, it's going to be 9 times 0, negative 9 times 0, right? And then this term
Yes.
just goes away, doesn't it?
Yes.
Okay, then I just get negative 4y equals 16.
And then you just divide it by 4.
Uh-huh,
Negative 4.
right? And then I get y equals negative 4, right? Now over here, if I set y to 0, negative 4. If I set y to 0, then I get 0 equals negative 9x plus 16, right? Because then this now is equal to 0, because if I multiply negative 4 by 0, I get 0, right? So now I'm just going to move this over. It becomes a positive 9x equals 16. Divide both sides by 9, and I get 16 ninths. Now I have 2 points. First one is 0,
Well, I sort of understand it like now, but I don't know. It just makes more sense to me like doing it the original way
then that's how you do it. I mean, that's just a no-brainer. If the other way works for you and it makes sense to you, then that's the way you should do it. I mean, the reason I provide two options is so that if one is like, oh God, that makes so much sense to me, well, then do that. Yes, Jacoby.
Did you take away why I didn't see because I was too busy writing down everything else.
Right here. I made y equal to 0, and then I moved the 9x over. Yeah, it's fine. It's not a problem. Okay. So 16 ninths is a little less than 2, right? Right, because 18/9 would be 2. So that's going to be 16/9, 0. Boom. Now, you could have also just divided everything by -9. You could have gone on from there too. So that's fine too. Okay. Yeah. I mean, probably divided by -4 here. Divided by -4 here is probably easier because y is already on the right side and everything. So you could do that and you just get your slope would be 9/4. So you'd have to go up 9 and over 4. So you'd be like over here somewhere, but it would still be on the same line. It just, but yeah. 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 Thank you. All right, let's do some more. All right. Well, this one's actually pretty easy. Look at this one. I like this one. This one's super easy. What's the only thing I have to do here? What do I have to do? Don't I just need to move that y over? When I move that y over, it becomes positive. I'm going to switch these around. And boom, I'm already in slope-intercept form now, aren't I? So I'm going to start at, oops, that's supposed to be +3. Sorry. So I'm going to start at the y-intercept. I'm going to go up 1 and over 5. Just like that, right? Those of you that have your video off, it's okay, but I just want to make sure that you're following along carefully with me, because I'd hate to think that I did like 8 or 9 problems and then you were just kind of, picking your nose and scratching your belly or something. That would be sad. All right. So I'm also taping this thing since you guys just kept harassing me about it. So I'll tape it and I'll post it to Teams. You're gonna love that because it's gonna be huge. Okay, did that one make sense? Any questions on that one? Yeah, Jacoby.
Well, it's not really a question about like that problem. But are we gonna be able to like skip through the video?
It's just gonna be a regular video, so yeah, of course you can skip through it. It's just a regular. I'm gonna make it as a JPEG 4, so that you can just, yeah, it's just gonna be like a regular YouTube video or something. I will most likely convert it to make it lower res, but smaller, so it's easier to download and do something with. So, or I could just post it on, I'll just post it on YouTube, and then it'll automatically do that, and then you'll be streaming it instead of downloading it, okay? All right. All right, let's look at this one. What's going on here? What do I need to do here to get this into a form that I can have? How am I going to get this into slope-intercept form? What do I need to do? What should I do? Aaliyah?
Divide everything by 3.
Yeah, I could do that. Sure, why not? I could start with that. I know I'm going to have to do it eventually, so it doesn't really hurt to do it. So that'll give me 3 plus y equals -x/3. Now what do I need to do? Liliana? It's that little microphone there.
You move the 3 to the other side, so you divide it.
Right?
I mean, it becomes negative, yeah.
So now I'm in slope-intercept form. Now I can graph it. I'm going to start at 0, -3. What's my slope? My slope is -1/3, right? Do we see that it's negative 1/3? Right? Because we can see that there's a fraction we can pull out of there and make it negative 1/3 x, right? So I'm going to go down 1 and over 3. And there we go. All right. We doing well? You doing okay? Now this next one's pretty easy, right? What should we do here? What do you think? Yanira, what should we do here? I'm going to pick on you. What should we do at number 19 here? When you look at this, think about the fact that I need to get y by itself. So what is keeping y from being alone there? There you go, Yanira. Nice job. So I'm going to divide both sides by 8, and that's going to give me negative 1/4 x equals y. Because when I divide negative 2 by 8, I'm going to get negative 1/4, right? So now my slope, my intercept is at 0, 0. I'm going to go down 1 and over 4. There I am. How are you guys feeling on these now? If your video's on, if your video is off right now, send me a text and let me know what your number out of 5 is so that I know where we're at. If you got your video on, if you'd be kind enough to, show me what you're at. Okay. So I'm seeing that people are still feeling a little uncertain about these. Is that a pretty accurate statement? So I got most of my people that are seems like most of my people that are having their video off are feeling a little uncomfortable with it. Is that, I think that's fair. Oops. All right. So, so what do you guys want to do about that? I mean, I see I have one more, but one more doesn't really do much. Where are we at? Do we need to work on this some more? Because we did multi-step equations before, but we only did them with one variable. So how many of you, and you can just give me a thumbs up, how many of you feel like you really need some more practice with this on Monday? Okay, so I got a couple people there. How many people need more practice? Please give me a response right now. Give me a thumbs up, please. Okay. All right. So we need to be able to finish our understanding of this like super. I want to get it done so that we don't have it left before Thanksgiving. That doesn't mean I'm going to give you a test before Thanksgiving, so don't start having a cow on me. Know how y'all think. He's going to give us a test. We act stupid for a couple more days, and then he'll give us a test after Thanksgiving. Big babies. All right. I'm going to stop the video now so that I can